What's going on, everybody? Today I'm going to be installing some headers into my 2009 Corolla. As you saw in one of my other videos, I tried to fix an exhaust leak that was down at the end of the headers where it meets the cat, and I was not having any luck. I tried to put the putty around it and it seemed to help a little bit, but not much. So instead, I'm going to be putting in some new headers, and also I'm going to be wrapping them with this heat tape to help keep the heat down a little bit more. Hey guys, before we get this video started, don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, and turn your post notifications on so you guys don't miss any new content that I post. Alright, let's get to it. So obviously on my car, the headers are all the way behind the engine. There's no way to get to them really from up top. Instead, you're going to have to take out this windshield shroud, which you got to take the windshield wipers off and the motor underneath, and then you can take out the metal or aluminum bracket that's holding everything in there, and that gives you about like 6 inches or so of more reach behind there, so that way we can get to the bolts on the engine. I want to get to those first so I can start soaking them with some liquid wrench or whatever, so that way it'll help break them loose easier. Hopefully they're not going to be too seized. And then I got to jack up the car and get underneath and then loosen up the bolts underneath that are onto the cat, and then we will put on the new one. And also, before I start, I'm going to get a sound of what it sounds like before and then a sound of what it sounds like after. So let's do that real quick. And these might not be as easy to take off as it is for me, so I just had these off a few weeks ago, so yours may be pretty hard. Might have to pry up on it just a little bit, or get a special pry set, like a pulley type of thing, so that way you don't break anything. But if you look on YouTube, you'll find other ways to get it off without that special tool. So now that we're underneath here, we got that shroud off with the windshield wipers off. We got to take this motor out. It's just a plug, a couple bolts, and then this whole aluminum piece will come out, this whole bracket. There's probably like 20, I don't want to say 20 bolts, but there's probably like 10 to 15 bolts holding this on. I believe they're all 10 millimeters, so we have to take that off. Alright, after you got all the bolts off, this should now that we got this off, you can see how much more room it gives you. And on my car, the heat shield is off. I took it off a while ago. I mean, here's my heat shield. It was already rusting down at the bottom, so I took it off when I took this off last time, so I had better access down there. But if you were to do this yourself, you're gonna have to take this off, and there's gonna be 4 bolts. Mine was only 2, because the other 2 were completely rusted out. So, and those came out decently. Now, I'd probably recommend you get some liquid wrench or something. It's gonna be 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 bolts on the back of the engine. You're gonna wanna try to spray those down with some liquid wrench or something, and then let them sit for a little bit. So alright guys, so I just wanted to give you an update real quick. I did get the 5 bolts off that are connected to the engine, which I was super worried about because they're not too bad, but they are starting to get pretty badly rusted. Really not going to be able to see easy, but I took them all off. There's 5 studs that come out of the engine just like that, and they go along the whole manifold. So I got those out. Like I said, I sprayed them with some liquid wrench, let it sit for about an hour, and then I was able to break them all free, and then I took them all out with a socket. It's a 12mm socket if you're going to do this yourself. Now that I got them out, now it's time to go and take the 2 bolts down here underneath the car that are holding it to the catalytic converter. But I mean, if anybody knows like why these 5 bolts are the most important, if you end up stripping one of these out or destroying one of the studs coming out the back of the engine, you're pretty much going to have to, I don't want to say replace the whole engine, but you're going to have to put new studs in, which is a lot more work than just taking a bolt off. So alright, I'm going to jack up the car, get underneath, and start taking the other bolts off, and hopefully this will come out pretty easy. Alright, so I'm not sure exactly where I left off at, but as you see, I got the car jacked up. I'm going underneath it now. And I got the 2 bolts off that connect to the catalytic converter at the bottom of the headers. And then I didn't realize this, there is a mounting bracket on the side of the headers. There is one screw on the side that is connected to the headers. That'll disconnect it from the bracket, but I couldn't actually get the bolt loose, so I just took the whole bracket off with it. And now I'm pretty much ready to drop the car and then take the headers out. Alright, so I finally got the old one out, as you saw, and I see the failed point on this was the whole donut gasket thing pretty much is destroyed, and I think that's why it was leaking. And then I tried to fill it up with the putty, and that just wasn't good enough. So technically I could probably reuse this and put a new donut on it, but the amount of work and time, I might as well just upgrade to a nice set of headers. So we're gonna have to swap out the O2 sensor over here. This comes with one, so that way you don't get any check engine lights. And everything should go straight forward. I mean, just replace that. Then there comes with a gasket here and a donut gasket there. So, and we'll probably clean up the surface on the engine real quick. And then we'll see how this sounds afterwards. And hopefully it fixes my exhaust leak, because this is quite a bit more work than I honestly thought it was. But I mean, look at the pile of parts over there. So originally I went to an exhaust shop when I first got the car, probably like 6-7 months ago, and I told them I had an exhaust leak, and they verified that it was leaking here. They wanted like $1,200 to replace this, and I mean that was with the part, but the part is only like $150, so it was over $1,000 in labor just to do this, and they were not going to guarantee that they weren't going to strip the bolts out in the engine. So this is why I'm trying to do it myself. Save me over $1,000 and put some upgrades on the Corolla as well. So let's get this thing back in. Alright guys, so now I'm gonna wrap the headers with this heat tape. I've never done this before, so I know everybody says to wear gloves. It comes with gloves and some of these metal zip ties. So hopefully I can make this look good, and hopefully my hands don't itch or hurt afterwards. But I guess you want to start from the bottom and go towards the top. The heat wrap on, and I got my O2 sensor on, so now it's time to throw it in the car. I already put my gasket on, so hopefully this will slide in easier than it came out. And I guess we should put this gasket on too. Alright you guys, so this is the next day. I kind of ran out of time in daylight yesterday, but I don't know, I really didn't show the process of putting these in because it was really hard to get anything back here, even myself. So, but to get these new ones in, I had to take I had to take this bracket off, and I also had to loosen up this bracket in order to move out all these, I think they're vacuum lines, or if they're coolant lines, whatever. I had to take them all out just to squeeze them in there. And so I got everything in there now. I got to tighten up everything and then put the 2 bottom bolts down on the flange down there. And then we should be all set and ready to see what this sounds like. Alright you guys, so I pretty much got everything all bolted back up. I didn't put the windshield shroud thing back on yet. I just want to start it up, see everything, make sure I didn't miss anything. So let's go see what it sounds like on the first start. Alright you guys, so I got everything all put back together. All the windshield shroud back on, the 15 bolts or whatever that go on there. And I went for a test drive, and it seems like everything looks good. And also, don't want to forget to mention, I do not have a check engine light. A lot of people say when you guys replace headers on a car like this, you'll get a check engine light. And I went for maybe like 3-4 mile drive, and I did not have any problems. Car seemed to run fine. So yep, that's everything about that. And I mean, you can see them down there. Everything looks good. I also made sure there's no leaks. I sprayed everything with soapy water, so that way I wouldn't be having any more exhaust leaks. That was pretty much the whole reason why I did this. But also, I didn't notice a big difference in sound yet. So there will be some new stuff coming to the channel. And here it is. So guys, if you are excited about this, subscribe to the channel. And that'll definitely be in the next video sooner or later. So I really want to give this Corolla a little bit more sound to it. So, and everybody says that is a good addition to it, and also that'll have headers, so that'll also make it sound good too. So alright you guys, thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.